Why is the average American getting poorer every single year without even realizing it? Your money is literally worth less every single year due to if you're saving money, you're actually losing money. And you know what else is crazy to see? How far a dollar used to stretch 10, 20 years ago compared to today. $1 today compared to 20 years ago, night and day difference. If your money isn't growing, it's shrinking. It doesn't stay still. So we're gonna talk through all that today. And by the end of this video, my goal is for you to understand exactly why your money's losing value, but more importantly, how to stop it and change directions. But before we get into the solutions, let's first break down why this is happening. Because if we don't understand the root cause, it's hard to fix that problem. My name is Justin Lopatin. I've been a mortgage lender for the last 18 years, and I've helped over 5,000 people buy, invest, or refinance real estate around the country. I own several properties myself. I work with financial advisors on a daily basis, and I think financial literacy is one of the most important and actually unspoken topics in this country, in our education system today. The hidden wealth killer right now is inflation. It's the number one challenge for people trying to save money because it erodes your money every single month. Inflation, in the most simplest terms, is the rate at which the prices of everything, goods and services primarily, increase. So if the prices of everything is going up, but your money's staying the same, your dollar is worth less. That's what's happening right now. It's just a slow erosion of your purchasing power. Let me give you an example of what I mean by slow erosion. In the year 2000, if you had $10,000 in a savings account and you just let it sit there earning whatever rate it was earning, today it would be worth around $5,500 due to inflation. Now, the government reports that the official inflation rate is somewhere between 2 and 3% a year. They refer to it as the CPI, which is a consumer price index. But when you talk about the real world inflation that we're feeling every day as consumers, housing, gas, food, I think we'd agree that it's a little bit more than 2 to 3% per year. In 2010, a gallon of milk went for about $2.78. Today, it's hard to find a gallon of milk for under $4. Rents in major cities have doubled over the last decade, but wages and income hasn't kept up. And don't get me started on eggs. So this is something I never learned until I was an adult, and someone smarter than me actually explained it to me clearly. Inflation is one of the biggest threats to wealth, yet most people rely on outdated financial advice that doesn't help them win in this environment. Looking back, I feel like we've been told lies when it comes to learning how to save money and the right strategies around savings in general. And literally, the traditional savings account is a losing strategy, and I'm gonna tell you why. Let me know if this sounds familiar. Save 10% of your paycheck every month and put some money aside in your 401k and you'll be financially secure when you retire. That is some outdated ass advice, and it doesn't take into account the current rate of inflation. Have you seen the average interest rates on a savings account, by the way? Mind you, that's where most people keep their money, in a savings account. We're talking less than 0.5% at most, if you're lucky. Meanwhile, inflation's eating away anywhere from 3 to 7% of your money's value every single year. So let me repeat this. People are getting less than 1% return when they have their money in a savings account, but inflation's eating away 3 to 7%. Do the math. You're losing 2 to 6% of your money's value every single year by keeping your money in a standard savings account. Don't do it. Remember that example about a $10,000 savings account from the year 2000? It'd only be worth about $5,500 today. Well, if that same $10,000 was invested in the stock market or a good piece of real estate, it'd be worth 40 to 60K minimum. And I'm not making this stuff up. I'm pulling this from the Federal Reserve and the historic wage versus home price data. So here's the punchline. Working hard and putting your money in a savings account does not set you up for success. In fact, that's a recipe for eroding your savings and never being able to build wealth. So by now you should be asking yourself, if a traditional savings account, the old school 40-year retirement plan, isn't the way to do it anymore, what is? What are the wealthy people doing? Well, I'm going to explain it to you right now. First and foremost, wealthy folks do not keep their money in a traditional savings account. They might keep enough money to pay their bills every month, but most of their assets are sitting in accounts, sitting in assets that outperform inflation. If inflation's at 3 to 5%, their assets are earning 10 to 15% year over year. And believe it or not, instead of hoarding cash and just sitting on it, they invest it. They buy a lot of real estate. Most wealthy people have a ton of money in real estate, and as inflation goes up, the price of their real estate assets and value go up as well. They also buy stocks and index funds. Both have a historic long-term growth of anywhere from 7 to 10%, outpacing inflation. And a large percentage of folks are investing in businesses or starting their own businesses. This not only creates cash flow, but also provides tax advantages at the end of the year. So again, that 10K you put in a savings account in 2000, it's worth about $5,500 today. But if that same 10K was invested in the stock market, earning anywhere from 7 to 10% a year conservatively, it'd be worth 5 to 7 times more today. Take a look for yourself. Check out the average returns over the last 20 years for the S&P 500. The concept that I want to underscore here is that if your money's not working for you, you're always going to be working for more money. So now we know a few strategies that the wealthy use to protect their money. Let's talk about how you can implement some of these principles starting today. First off, you got to stop relying on just putting your cash in a savings account. That is not a strategy. Keep only what you need for short-term living expenses and maybe a 3 to 6 month emergency account, and that's it. The rest of it has to be invested somewhere else. So 3 ways to invest your money to beat inflation every year are: number 1, real estate. Buy a primary residence, buy an investment property, or invest in a real estate fund. Number 2, stock market and index funds. You can do something super simple like dollar cost average into the S&P 500 every month, either on your own or with a financial advisor. And number 3 is starting or investing in a business. Now that might be a little bit more risky than real estate and the stock market, but investing in a business is a great way to create some additional streams of income and some significant tax savings at the end of the year. Another important strategy to understand is how to leverage debt correctly. An example of leverage is taking some of the money you have saved up, putting a portion of it for a down payment on a property, and taking the other portion and investing it into the market. Having all your cash in one place is not strategic. You want to have it diversified in different buckets of investments. Let me give you a perfect example. A lot of financial advisors will tell their clients not to buy a home in cash, even if they have enough money saved up. If you can get a mortgage at 6%, and the stock market's doing anywhere from 15 to 20%, the difference is what you make. So if you borrow at 6% on the mortgage and you make 20% in the market, you just made a 14% spread through leverage. Another important strategy that was really hard for me when I was younger, and I know it's tough for millennials, is you gotta be long-term minded. You gotta think in the decades. Holding the right assets over time is really how you build wealth. The 7th wonder of the world is compound interest. You gotta start today. Even if it's small investments, they compound year over year. And for the record, over the last 20 years, the historical average return for the S&P 500 is over 10% a year on your money. That's a great return. So all that means is the sooner you start investing, the better. Compound interest is your best friend. The longer you wait, the longer your money sits in the savings account, the more purchasing power you lose. Your money's worth less every year in that savings account. And lastly, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you this. Please talk to a financial advisor. I'd be happy to refer you one. Connect with someone that was referred to you, make sure they're licensed, and talk to them about your savings goals. Let them take a look at the different puzzle pieces you have, how much you make, what retirement plans you have, what your goals are you starting a family, do you want to start a business, and let them put that puzzle together for you. That's what they get paid to do. Once you're in the prime time earning stages of your life, there's 2 super important people you need. You need that financial advisor, and you need a good accountant or a CPA. There are different strategies and different opportunities that you just don't know if you don't know. Having these professionals in your life is worth the investment. Inflation is real, and the only way to fight inflation is by investing in assets that earn more and by having sound tax strategies to help you save money at the end of the year. I want to help you shift your mindset from saving to investing and to really focus on income generating assets, not just savings accounts. Start as soon as possible. Time is your biggest advantage, and compound interest is the 7th wonder of the world. I hope this helped. If you found this information helpful, click the like button, hit subscribe, and feel free to click the link below to book a call with me and my team.